Boom. All right. Kenvin here. Today we have a Rosecraft knife. This is not from the pass around. I am on a Rosecraft pass around. Thank you, Andy, for allowing me to be part of that. Get to check out some cool knives from Rosecraft. I actually own 5 or 6. This is my 7th one, I believe. I bought this one when I was at Blade Show Atlanta a few weeks ago, and I'm kind of completing the footage from there. Kind of wanted to have all the knives I picked up for a couple weeks, be able to check them out, enjoy them for a little bit, so then I could go and back and give a little bit more of an in-depth review of my thoughts. Here it is from Blade Show Atlanta, one of the last knives from the series. Boxing bag on the floor. This is the Rosecraft Blades Aeris Rex. Check this thing out. So this is one that kind of slipped under my radar. I guess I missed it. They have a lot of interesting knives, mostly known for their traditional kind of slip joint kind of pocket knives, but they also have some of the less traditional, more interesting designs, like this one here, the Aeris Rex. We got a micarta handle and then a bolster with copper. The blade is an RPM 9 Tanto blade with that huge harpoon right out on the end. I think this is the first knife I've got from Rosecraft that has RPM 9 steel. Don't really know how much or know much about how their particular. I have a lot of CJRBs with AR RPM 9, and I like the blade steel. I'm assuming RPM 9 is very similar to that. Does anyone know anything about that steel that Rosecraft has been using? Comment below. Anyway, really cool looking shape and design. This is a discontinued model, so they had it amongst their other ones there. I noticed it. I recognized the shape just to be something that draws me in, and I just went right over to it, picked it up, and like, Andy, I don't remember seeing this one or whatever. And yeah, discontinued, won't be around. It is available on the website now, so if you're watching this video recently after I released it, you might be able to still pick one up. Otherwise, these are discontinued, so if this does look interesting to you, you might want to jump on it. They are on sale. I think the retail price is around $60, and it is right now the discontinued sale price is $39.99, so about $40 for this model right here. Check it out. I think it's cool. I like the design and shape to it. Does have the black PVD coating on the blade. Blade is centered, yeah, a little bit, might be a little bit that way, which means we could loosen it up a little bit. Very solid, so I could probably loosen that right into the center, no problem at all. But the blade does feel good. Here's the detent, nice little strong detent right at the end there. Boom. So you got your thumb studs, flicks out real easy, reverse flick, no problem. Also got that flipper tab on there. Let's try to do a weak fail, maybe a push. There, it did kind of fail a little bit, but that detent seems to be pretty strong. If you just get in there and give it a little flick, little push with the thumb. I haven't had any problems opening this. It's actually quite satisfying. Nice little finger choil choke up spot right there. It's actually kind of a little bit smaller. I personally think I would like that more if it was just maybe an 1/8 of an inch wider, just a little bit further out. I know they want to keep it back like that so you're not you're not in the way of the blade. You can get in there when you're doing some work, but I think that could be a little bit larger or a little less sharp, steep right in this area here. But what do you think about it? I don't know. All in all, I love the shape and the design. That harpoon way out on the end. Look at my index finger, just sits right into that. No jimps of any kind. It's a little slick right there. I think jimps right in there, even jimps up on this spot. I'm a jimp fan personally. What do you think? I don't mind that they're not there, but I think I would enjoy it more if there was at least some right in this area. A little ramp up there for your thumb, and then that choked up spot. You can get in there and doing some work. Hanging it out in the hand for some draws with that Tanto. You could use that little point or get in with that tip right there. Clip can be swapped, so I have not done that yet. Why didn't I not do that? But if you're a lefty and you want the clip on the other side, you can do so. Got a nice little recessed section on the scale right there, so it sits flush. If you look at it right there, the screws are recessed and it sits flush in there, so there's not really going to catch or anything on that pocket. Slide in and out pretty easy. You got your Rosecraft branding on the clip, the Maker's Mark logo on this side, Rosecraft on that side. Pretty clean design. I like that, all black with that copper on the bolster. I dig it. This is a fun knife. Good action on it. As I said, as soon as I saw it, I kind of gravitated towards it, picked it up, thought it looked cool, picked one up. Here it is. In the collection. How many Rosecraft blades do you have? Which one is your favorite? What should we check out next? 7 7/8. They did just start getting some fixed blades, so I should be able to check out some of the fixed blades from Rosecraft pretty soon. I'm excited for that. Blade is just about 3.5, not quite, more like 3 3/8. Cutting surface, you have 5/8 on that front straight spot, and then 2 5/8 on the main with just the slightest curve on the belly. 4.5 on the handle. Boom. Okay, get out the old calipers. 11, 12, 12. Yeah, it's 12 at a weird angle. So it's basically 12. 12 carries all the way out to this section here, way up at the tip at the end of that harpoon. So that little section is still carrying that same weight. So a nice solid blade. Then you've got your grind, and then that little Tonto secondary grind up there. I really like that harpoon way out there. That is fun. Handle 0.57, thickest part 8.7, and the thickest on the blade up here 1.14. The saga of the never-ending battery, the never-dying battery. It continues. How many more chapters will it give us? Probably many more. Are we even halfway through that book? It's been almost a year, I bet. 5.21, kind of a heavier pig. I wonder if the copper has a lot to do with that, but this does seem a little bit more heavy than a knife of this size would usually be. 5.21. 3.29 on that drop there, so significantly lighter, but not that different in size. 5.21. I do like a heavier knife personally. I know some people really like the ultralights. I kind of prefer my knives to have a little more weight and mass to them. Just gives me a little more satisfaction personally. What do you think, and how do you like the weight of your blades? This is the Kaiser Drop Bear, very well used and dirty here. Got to clean that up, but look at all the jumps on there. That's what I'm talking about. Great daily user size, not quite full size. You can see this Aeris Rex is probably more on the full size, more over 8-inch. Good 1/4 inch on the front and the back, longer than the Drop Bear. Drop Bear is the same size as your Pyrite, as your Bug Out. All right. This knife is cool. Let me get a piece of paper, our good old paper cut test. Doesn't necessarily prove much, but it is fun. That felt nice. Ooh, she's slicey. I'm trying to just barely get in there. Oh, look at that. That is a sign of a sharp edge. Very cool. Not often that I get in there and then try to do that little curly cue. It's hard to grab, but look at that. It really wants to. It wants in there. What about just the Tonto tip? Yep, that's got some edge too. A little bit harder to kind of get to just the just the tip of the blade there. That is nice. So I feel that's pretty solid. And crap paper. 8.5 on the cutting. Feels pretty nice out of the box. I have not really cut much. I carried this a couple of times Opened a couple of packages, but really haven't cut. I think everything I cut with it was probably on the tip opening the box, so I don't really think I got into that belly much at all. But that factory edge does feel nice. This is cool. I dig it. I'm glad to have this discontinued model. Not going to be around for much longer. If you are interested in still picking one up new, they do have them at Rosecraft. I got a link down in the description there. Go check one out if you want to jump on it before they are gone. I need to switch my clip to the other side, but I will continue to enjoy this one. It's fun. It's got a neat design to it. If you want to get some Rosecrafts, we get a traditional. They got a lot of good ones, but they also have some really interesting alternative models as well. Check them out. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.